saga. Danger Days was a journey. You know, you learn something every time you make an album, and I think we learned the most making Danger Days. It's a record we made twice. Creatively, the process was just a very big undertaking, but it was the most fun I'd ever had doing a record, easily. And it was the most in tune, I think, mentally we all were at the same moment.
And it shouldn't have been, because we had gone through so much.
Right.
But somehow it just ended up working in our favor. I think we work best when we're the underdog kind of thing, and I don't know, we just hit a creative stride at a certain point, and we found the new shit.
Yeah, like, you know, being the underdog is a really important thing for the band, which is, you know, I mean, it's why we'll do things like, you know, we like playing before bands. It's not a competitive thing, but it's just something that happens to this band. You know, we were on Project Revolution, and that was a huge tour for us too, and we loved that slot. It's like right when, you know, the sun's going down and you have like everything to prove, and kind of nothing to lose in a great way, you know, or maybe everything to lose, I don't know. But being an underdog is really important to the band, you know. And I think it was like, we were gonna put out a record and it was like, oh, everybody's really excited. And it's like, oh, well then F it. Let's wait even longer. Let's try it again because, you know, we have to be even that much more underdogs. It became exponentially harder the longer we were making this record, where it was like, oh my God, it's like, how do we deliver? And I think that brought the best out in the band, you know. First of all, like, it's exciting that they're getting back together again and putting out another record. I mean, that's awesome. And the fact that we were the first band they thought of, really awesome again.
Yeah, I remember getting the phone call from Tom. He was like, you guys gotta do this tour with us. And I was like, yeah, what is it? And so he came out to a show
in San Diego, right?
San Diego, yeah. And hung out backstage. We were just talking about it. And we're like, yeah, man, sounds cool. Like, see what happens.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. You know, I mean, my freshman orientation, I wore a Blink-182 t-shirt to it. So it's kind of rad that, like, you know, Tom calls you up and is like, hey, let's go on tour. I think there's a picture of me on the internet at like 13 or 14, like next to, like, with Tom.
Right.
It's pretty weird. We should get another one of those updated.
Yeah, they're a band, you know, we've always admired them. We always wanted to tour with them, and then, you know, they took their break, and we got super excited at the possibility of touring with them when they got back, so it's good to have them back.
You know, one of the cool things is it keeps changing right now, what we do on stage. It changes, you know, sometimes night to night, which is really cool. I mean, we have a set group of songs we like to do, but sometimes we change those out. I mean, even we usually don't know until like that last minute before. And then I remember last time we played a festival, stuff changed the day before. And then stuff changed a week into the tour. Like, that's when you really hit your groove. And then everything kind of looked different. We were dressed different. Everything had changed. We kind of adapt to our surroundings. So, I mean, we rehearse the songs, but that's it. There's no gags or bits or gimmicks or anything. So, you know, you never really know what's going to come out of our mouths or what you're really going to hear. So I think, I don't know, that's one of the things I'm proudest about the band live, especially, is there's no routine, you know.
Plus, it's going to be a really long tour. We got time to evolve.
Yeah, I can guarantee you by the end of the tour, we will look like completely different people and a totally different band than when we start that first day.
Watch a lot of movies.
A lot of
TV
movies.
shows.
Yeah, a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows.
Read. He's a huge reader.
I like to read a lot. Yeah, and then it's, you know, if you're lucky enough to have like the time, you walk around the city and try to find the same coffee chain that you would find anywhere else.
Yeah, little bit of normalcy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a quest. It's like a quest for caffeination when you wake up. You're like, I gotta get it, and then. Yeah, and then you just pass the time, you read, you tell stories, you hang out, you watch movies, just hang out with each other.
Well, the thing is, too, like, you know, since the band exercises so much creative control, that's kind of a full-time job. So, you know, if you wake up, usually the first thing you're dealing with is some creative thing with the band. And then even at night, like, you know, you need to decompress, but basically most nights you're thinking about or working on something creative for the band that you need to contribute for. So that does happen a lot. Like, it's definitely all-encompassing, you know, just to stay on top of it.
Well, sometimes you don't wake up in the morning. It's morning.
It's what we call morning.
You wake up, depending on the day. So I guess like a normal day, wake up. You might have an hour or so before you can, you have to go in for sound check. We do our sound check. Sometimes there's a sound check party, which really isn't a party. It's just people watching you check your instruments, and then you make sure the stage is set up for the show. Make sure you get all your sounds dialed in. After that, we might have a meet and greet where we'll get to hang out with some kids. Then there's probably some press you have to do, and talk to some people and answer a few questions. Hopefully that allows you to have about an hour and a half before show, where we just kind of chill out for a little bit, drink a bunch of tea that our really good friend Lauren makes for us, and then you just kind of get in that vibe, get really nervous, pee about 20 to 30 times, get on stage, and as soon as the lights go out, you feel like you're at home, and you get whatever you're lucky enough to get, whether it be 30 minutes, an hour and a half. You play it like it's the last moment you have on earth, and then get off, kind of try to dry off and discuss the set a little bit.
We usually then start talking about old times. That always seems to be what happens. We talk about the set, and that's usually over in about 2 minutes, and then we just start talking about how when the band started, or just being in the van, and we swap stories because we all have them. Then you try to go to bed. And that is the hardest part of the day, because since you started really at 10 at night or 9 at night, and you're so wired and you're so crazy now, and you've had a great night, you really can't fall asleep until about 5 or 6. Yeah. That's really the hardest part, is forcing yourself to go to bed.
I think one of the interesting things about touring is that for maybe 5 to 10 seconds when you wake up, you forget what country you're in, what state you're in.
It's kind of like being a werewolf.
No, totally. It's like being a werewolf.